question of who's responsible for the wave of change happening in Hamilton County schools is up for debate tonight. Good evening, I'm Calvin Snade.
And I'm Latricia Thomas. One education advocacy group that's been vocal throughout this process responds after a Hamilton County school board member calls them out for taking credit for Rick Smith's retirement. Stephanie Sanastasi has the story. Stephanie.
Calvin, Latricia, in 2014, the nonprofit UnifiEd was created to serve as an information hub to let parents, teachers, and students know what's happening within the school system. Last week, they urged the community to contact local school board members to fire Rick Smith after the board chose not to buy out Smith's contract. At the school board meeting last night, the outspoken Rhonda Thurman told the group to stop patting itself on the back and taking credit for what happened to the now retired Rick Smith.
School board members met yesterday evening discussing who will now fill in as Rick Smith's replacement, a process most board members agree hasn't been easy. Rhonda Thurman says she's sick of other groups, people, and organizations getting in the board's way.
Anybody that says they know how this process ought to work is a liar.
And Thurman didn't stop there.
There are people that make over $100,000 that are head of organizations that find great pleasure in sticking their finger in our eye and taking credit for things that they have no right to take credit for, of making people resign and do that kind of thing, which is absolute ludicrous.
We asked Thurman who specifically she was talking about. She tells us, quote, Elizabeth Cruz of UnifiEd. Cruz responded to Thurman's statements late this afternoon by email, saying, quote, to say that our executive director is paid over $100,000 is a ludicrous and a blatant falsehood. But in addition to the salary comment, Thurman had even more to say.
Anybody in this room that's trying to take credit for anything that has happened as far as Rick Smith is concerned or anybody else is concerned, you are patting yourself on the back way too hard because you had nothing to do with this.
Cruz says that in response to their organized call to action, hundreds of people called or emailed their school board members, many adding their personal thoughts.
Well, when I get form letters, 100 of them that say exactly the same thing, just signed by 100 different names, trust me, after about the fourth or fifth one, they all got deleted.
Cruz also sent us this 990 tax form today. Her executive director position falls under the senior leadership line, and she actually only makes $65,000 a year. Now, we talked to Rhonda Thurman today by phone. She tells us she hasn't heard from UnifiEd since making those statements last night, but she says she stands by what she said. Latricia.
Stephanie, thank you. Also discussed last night the budget for next school year. Assistant Superintendent of Finance Christy Jordan talked about giving teachers 5% raises. Jordan says this would help the school system recruit and retain high-performing teachers and leaders.